Thank you for coming to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic summer and having adventures and reading lots of books along the way. This video is all about The Teacher by Freida McFadden, which is a thriller that was published 2024. Today I finished reading The Teacher by Freida McFadden, and it was very scandalous, dramatic, and suspenseful. So I was in a Starbucks as I was reading it, and I gasped several times as I was reading it, especially the closer I got to the end. And I know people probably stared at me at some point to see why I was gasping, and when they saw that I was reading a book, I don't know. People always kind of respond differently when they see me reading books. Most people are interested. Anyway, that book, The Teacher, that is so there were parts of it, because I've read so many books and I've heard so many different perspectives of books. There were some parts that did not really surprise me, but the way that everything was written, it didn't even matter if I was expecting something or not, because the execution, her writing style, the characters, the imagery, I just love it all. And what I really, really enjoy in particular about Freida McFadden is that her dialogue is so smart, and the personalities of the characters ring true with the dialogue. They are very consistent with how they communicate, and let me pause. But some of the characters, of course, have multiple facets to their personality, and you can see the other facet of a character's personality emerging in the way that they communicate. And what else did I want to say? Oh, another thing about Freida McFadden that I do enjoy is that, and this isn't, she always keeps you guessing up until the very last page. Like, you think you know, you think you've got it all, but she's still, even on the very last page, she's still got a surprise for you, and it's a delight. It's a delight. I would have thought that it would have felt rushed, but again, her execution, her timing is so good with her writing. And I see myself getting another Freida McFadden book very quickly. This is the third Freida McFadden book that I have read, and my first book review was on The Coworker, and I really, really enjoyed that book. And Freida McFadden frequently, she breaks her books into different parts. Like, she's got chapters, but broader than the chapters, it's broken into different parts. And so what I really do enjoy about that is that the chapters, they really, really flow with the parts. She's broken the book up very well, and the chapters do stand on their own, but also it's almost like you're getting 3 books in one. Okay, so one thing I've noticed within the 3 books that I have read by Freida McFadden is I would love to look at her closet, because I'm convinced that she has the most spectacular shoes. She's got a character in this book that has a shoe obsession, and I just thought that that was such a relatable personality trait to incorporate into that character, and to make them, because that's real. And it also added a sense of levity to it. And also in The Coworker, there was a character that had a shoe appreciation. So I thought that was kind of cool to see that again in another one of her novels. And so I also do enjoy it when writers make references to other works of literature, which is quite frequent. And Freida McFadden did not fail us there at all. She did make reference to an Edgar Allan Poe work, The Raven, which fit into the whole thriller aspect of this novel. And of course, I'm going to do my best to make this spoiler free. I often pick up novels without reading the entire synopsis. So on top of mystery, the genre, or thriller, the genre, I like to add a whole nother layer of that for myself by not reading the synopsis. This is a page turner. This is definitely a book that you could read probably in one sitting. I read this book in, I think it was 3, maybe 4 days. And I probably could have read this book in one day. If I had a day dedicated to myself, I would have. I almost stayed up all night reading this book, actually. And I had to make myself go to sleep. What I think is so fascinating is that Freida McFadden is a practicing physician specializing in brain surgery. Like, she's a brain surgeon, y'all. And she wrote a book, I think it's called Brain Damage. It was one of her first novels, to my knowledge. And I think that's kind of cool. And I haven't read it yet. I want to. Her novels have been translated into more than 30 languages. Can you believe? And she also has a mailing list. That's intriguing. Okay, so a very brief synopsis of this book is that it is about a couple. They are both teachers. There is a scandal that happens at the school, and I've been thinking about reading. So Liv Constantine, which is actually 2 people, they're sisters. They wrote The Last Mrs. Parrish. I was at the bookstore about 2 weeks ago. They have written another one. They've written The Next Mrs. Parrish. So I'm a little conflicted because I was going to read Bad Company by Emma Rosenblum next. She's the author of Bad Summer People. It is so good. It's written from a cast of different perspectives. Like, there's like 10 different perspectives in that book. It is so good. And so I was going to read Bad Company, but I had this idea that I would read it on the way to a destination. That destination is yet to be determined, so I was going to hold off a little bit. And I also kind of wanted to read this Emily Henry book. What is it called? Beach Read. But that would be so much fun to read on a beach. So I kind of want to wait. I don't know. If I was going to pair The Teacher with a glass of wine, it would be red for sure. It would have probably like cinnamon notes in it. And I don't know, something woodsy. And for good measure, why not? Something juicy like a red apple. And thanks to this book, I had a dream that I was in high school again, and for some reason, my high school, in my dream, you had to apply for graduation, and I forgot to apply, and then I was panicking the whole dream. So thank you, Freida McFadden, for my high school dream. In summary, this is a novel about friendship, betrayal, love, lust, and sometimes what we perceive as those things and what the versus what they actually are. In betrayal, I highly recommend this novel to anyone that enjoys mysteries or thrillers. Does anybody have any recommendation for mystery summer reads? Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a beautiful day. Do something today that your future self will thank you for doing. And keep reading.